Here's the solution for your quiz. Quiz 6.2, Geometric and Algebraic Vectors. Question 1. By drawing a diagram and choosing appropriate representation, express each sum as a single vector. Now, in all the vector questions, it is better to draw a diagram and then get the answer. In such questions which you have here, you can get the answer even without drawing the diagram, right? So let me first teach you how to do without drawing the diagram. Then we will draw a diagram and see the result, right? Now, the question here is qt plus tx plus xy. So what happens is we need to reorganize these things so that the end point becomes the beginning of the other. So if you do that, then you get from first point to the destination. Here, these are already organized for you. See, from Q, you start from Q, get to T. Then from T, you go to X, and from X to Y. So starting point is Q, the last point is Y, and therefore your answer should be QY, correct? So that is your answer. So we can say algebraically, if I do it, I can write this as, I combine QT and TX and write for the first two terms as QX plus XY, right? So when I'm drawing a line, I am not drawing an arrow here, but the direction is from the first to the next one, correct? Now this is equal to from Q to X, and from X to Y we get to from Q to Y, correct? So that is our answer. Now actually speaking, how should you do it? By drawing a diagram. So let's take any points, right? So let's say this is our Q. And then we have T. So from Q we are going to T. So this is our T, from Q to T. And then from T to X. Let's say T, and then you go to T to X. And from X to Y. So from X to you go to Y. Let's say this is your point Y. So what is the resultant? Resultant is always from starting to end. So from starting Q, the end is QY. So that is our answer. And this is kind of a sketch which helps you to understand what the result is going to be, right? So that is exactly the answer we are looking for. And therefore, we can write our answer as QT plus TX plus XY, all these are vectors, is equal to QY. Do you get it? So that is how we do. The very first problem is kind of a simple problem for you, since it's just a starting point, right? But it gives you a very important concept, and that is how to really organize them and get the result. So it is always from starting to end point, final vector, correct? Let's get into the next question. Now here, let's first draw the diagram and then see how complicated it can be at times, okay? Now here we have X, Y and T. That means there are 3 points involved, correct? So okay, in this case also, let's reorganize and then do the diagram. Somehow I find reorganizing helps. And the step number 1 to reorganize is that in any equation like this in vectors, if you have a negative, that means you can flip the direction and make it positive. So first step should be reorganize and make everything positive. So let's first make it positive. So what do we get? We get XY, and then if you want to make it positive, we have to write TX, right? So say plus TX and then plus YX. Now if you are going from X to Y, you are at Y. So we'll reorganize so that from Y we can go to Y to X, right? So let me reorganize this. So I get XY I'm bringing this term first, right? When you add two vectors, order does not matter. It's commutative law. Y, x, right? So I'm taking this term here and that later, plus tx. Now xy to yx means you started with x and then reached x. Do you see that? You started from x and then you reached x itself. Correct? So that is what it means. So actually, we will reorganize this as tx and xy, and then from y we can go to x. Correct? That will be better. So we'll reorganize this and write tx first. So it's tx, and then from tx to xy, and then from xy, that is you're at y, to x, yx. So if you see, you start with t, go to x, from x to y, and from y to x. That means the resultant is tx. Correct? So that becomes your resultant. Now, in the form of a diagram, you can show it like this. Let's say we'll take this equation to help draw a diagram. So let's say you are at t, and from t you go to x. Correct? So this is t, and that is x for you. And then from x you're going to y. This is y for you. And then from y you're coming back to x. Do you see that? From y you're coming back to x. So what is the starting point and what is the end point? You started from t and end at x. Therefore, t to x is your final answer, right? So that's how you get t to x as your answer. So that is how you can solve these kinds of problems, right? I hope you understand. Thank you.